After some time away from any Football Manager game, I'm back. I'm not sure on the uploading schedule right now, but I just want to continue uploading videos. I tried several ideas, I do have like 3 videos drafted, but none of them stuck. And then, one day, I just loaded up Football Manager 2024. Now, this is the 3rd year that I'm playing FM24, which is kind of crazy given that FM26 is out, but I don't like FM26. I'm sorry to whoever likes it, good for you. I'm not trying to downplay the game, I just don't like it. And I don't want to go into a game I paid for over 6 months ago to be hit with bugs and crashes and unusable menu functionalities. But I'm not here to rant about FM26. I'm here to let you know that I'm following the advice these 2 lovely people gave me a while back, and I'll continue to create content on FM24, at least until FM26 gets really better, or if FM27 will be actually good. So, Hansi Flick. Now, Mr. Hansi Flick did something almost no one thought possible when he got appointed at FC Barcelona in 2024. When he took over, the club was almost in financial ruin, asking players to get pay cuts, and Real Madrid was on top of La Liga and Europe. But, before we get into this story, who is Hansi Flick? Born in Heidelberg, West Germany, Hans-Dieter Flick was kind of always destined to become someone in the world of football, just not a superstar player. He started early on as a youth player, moving up to the SV Sandhausen, where he made his debut as a professional player. After 69 appearances, Bayern Munich thought he was good enough and brought him in, and he played 104 matches in about 5 years for them. He even won 4 Bundesliga titles and 1 DFB Pokal. And towards the end of his playing career, he moved to FC Köln and Victoria Bammental. Earlier, I didn't mean to say that he did not have a worthy career as a player, but compared to the managerial one, I think it kind of lives in the shadows. He went into management as a player manager at Victoria Bammental in 1996, who were playing in the lower leagues of German football at the time. Even though the following season the club got relegated, he stayed on for 2 more years. And in 2000, Hansi Flick took over a modest club in the German lower leagues called Hoffenheim. At the time, the club did not have the stature it has nowadays, and Flick grew together with the club. He got the team promoted in the Regional Liga during the first season, but struggled to get them promoted to the German 2nd Division, so he was released of his duties in 2005. That was the moment when he changed lanes and focused on being an assistant manager rather than a main one. He worked with Giovanni Trapattoni and Lothar Matthäus at Red Bull Salzburg before becoming Joachim Löw's assistant for the German national team. He stated that working under Trapattoni taught him many things, especially on tactics and in developing relations with players. But they also disagreed on Trapattoni's defense-first approach. If everything that he did until then was football teaching him its tricks, what he did next was football allowing him to practice what he learned. Under Joachim Löw, as assistant manager for the German national team, Flick spent 8 seasons witnessing the highs and lows of the German football. And, right at the end, football rewarded him with a golden medal in the most prestigious of its tournaments, the World Cup. In 2014, Germany was unleashed against any opposition, and Brazil felt it the most. However, it is said that it was Hansi Flick's suggestion of subbing on Mario Götze that unlocked the final against Argentina.
Still full of running, and he's Götze!
Following this success, he became a sporting director for the national team and then at Hoffenheim before making the big leap into professional football management, taking over Bayern Munich in 2019. However, before he was fully instated as the manager of the club, he was an assistant to Niko Kovac, whose tenure did not go well for the Bavarian club. That first season in charge was a tumultuous period, not only sporting related. COVID outbreaks took place, lockdowns were instated around the world. But at the end of the season, Bayern Munich under Hansi Flick won the Bundesliga, the DFB Pokal, and most importantly, the UEFA Champions League, thus completing the continental treble for the 2nd time in the club's history. The following season, he led the club to win the UEFA Super Cup against Sevilla. He also led Bayern to win its first sextuple after winning the Club World Cup in February 2021 by defeating the Mexican team Tigres. He left the club in the summer of 2021, and he left Bayern with one of the greatest winning records in modern football history. During his tenure, they lost just 7 games and won 7 out of 9 possible trophies: the Bundesliga twice, DFB Pokal, UEFA Champions League, DFL Super Cup, UEFA Super Cup, and the FIFA Club World Cup. Bayern went undefeated in the 2019-2020 Champions League, the first team in European or Champions League history to leave the trophy with a 100% win record, and won 23 matches in a row across all competitions between the 16th of February 2020 and the 18th of September 2020, a record in German professional football. Also, they beat Barcelona 8-2. Flick held one of the highest win rates in football history, winning 83% of his games and helped by an average 3 goals per game across all competitions. He took over the German national team, but that tenure was exactly the opposite of his time at Bayern, and is one of the many reasons critics doubted he was the best choice of manager FC Barcelona had in 2024. But Flick had a secret.
I study a lot of things about the Netherlands football school and there's also Johan Cruyff.
He was an admirer of the Dutch total football philosophy and an adept of Johan Cruyff's managerial principles. Coupling that with his talent of spotting young players who could become great footballers, Barcelona had hired the ideal manager. He started implementing his ideas at Barcelona, and in the first matches of the 2024-2025 season, the team took the league by storm. 4-2, 5-2, 7-0 scorelines were coming up and the team was flying on the pitch. A young Lamine Yamal was catching everyone's eyes and parallels with Lionel Messi appeared. The culmination of that great start of the season came in the El Clasico, where Barcelona dominated Real Madrid, winning 4-0. And not only that, Real Madrid looked like youth players compared to the opponents. Kylian Mbappé was caught offside I think 8 times during that game. Barcelona was creating something magical, and the world was there to witness it. But then, football said enough and injuries appeared. The form diminished and the critics' voices were louder and louder. But Hansi Flick did not budge. He made minor adjustments to the tactic and pressed on. The form picked up, and in January 2025, Flick won the first trophy for the Catalan club, the Spanish Super Cup against Real Madrid, and the scoreline read 5-2. There were ups and downs, especially in Europe, where the team was different than domestically. Even though they were eliminated by Inter Milano in the UEFA Champions League semi-finals, the club dominated internally and clinched the Copa del Rey 3-2 against, you guessed it, Real Madrid. Following a 2-0 win over their rivals Espanyol on the 15th of May 2025, Flick achieved his first La Liga title with Barcelona, with goals from Lamine Yamal and Fermin Lopez. This game confirmed Flick's domestic double, as he added the league title to his win in the Copa del Rey. During the 2024-2025 season, he led Barcelona to an unprecedented 4 victories over Real Madrid in official competitions, including both La Liga fixtures, the Supercopa de España final, and the Copa del Rey final. This marked the first time in the modern era that Barcelona achieved a clean sweep over their rivals in all official matches within a single season. The critics were silenced once again. While in charge of Bayern Munich, Flick developed the name of Flicky Flaka in the media to characterize the mixed gegenpressing and possession-based style of football the team played. He consistently deployed the 4-2-3 formation at the Bavarian club, featuring a high defensive line that encourages the double pivot and the fullbacks to adopt positions where they can press the ball as it approaches the midfield third and to screen and block against switches of play. In Bayern's 8-2 win over Barcelona, 3 out of their first 4 goals came within 10 seconds after regaining possession, as Flick likes to keep passing lanes short with players much closer to the ball. Another way that he uses to create space on one side is to begin the play on one side of the field and gradually draw the opposition to shift the ball on the other side. Upon his appointment as Barcelona's head coach in May 2024, he implemented a tactical system characterized by high defensive line, coordinated pressing, and an aggressive offside trap. Flick's Barcelona also exhibited a dynamic attacking approach, blending vertical transitions and short passing combinations with positional play. The team led La Liga in through balls by mid-season and maintained one of the highest pass completion rates in the league, reflecting his emphasis on close support play and efficient ball circulation. He is also known for his detailed match preparation and strong in-game management. While he traditionally favors a 4-2-3-1 system, the German manager has shown flexibility, occasionally employing asymmetrical fullback roles or compact midfield presses depending on the opposition. Under his leadership, players such as Rafinha experienced career-best form, with the Brazilian winger recording 20 goal involvements in the 2024-2025 UEFA Champions League group stage alone, breaking Lionel Messi's previous club record. Although his aggressive offside tactics and high line occasionally leave the team vulnerable to counterattacks, Flick's commitment to a proactive, high-risk style has been credited with restoring both identity and intensity to Barcelona's tactical DNA. In-game, I also went for a 4-2-3-1 formation. As the team plays with a high line, we need the goalkeeper to be prepared to step in as the sweeper keeper if the need is there. The back 4 are 2 wingbacks on attack and 2 ball-playing defenders on defend. I know that Jules Koundé played a bit more defensively than Alejandro Balde at times, but to make sure the game interprets the tactic properly, 2 wingbacks with similar duties were chosen. A fullback on support would also work if you wanted to change it. The center backs must be skilled with the ball, especially in the passing department. They need to step in and unlock the game, playing through the opposition's press at times. A double pivot is employed in the midfield. Initially, I went for a deep line playmaker and a center midfielder, but there was a small gap between them, which the opposition was exploiting quite often. So, I dropped them both as defensive midfielders. The roles are a halfback and a deep line playmaker. They were chosen like this as one of the players must see deep to help the defense against counterattacks, while the other one, usually Pedri, must be able to find pinpoint passes for his teammates and to go up the pitch late when the opportunity arises. The front four must have interchangeable roles. I went for a more eccentric approach, fielding a trequartista on the right side and in the middle, but the game couldn't really cope with it. So, I changed it to a more traditional approach. An inverted wingback on support on the right side, Lamine Yamal, an inside forward on attack for Rafinha, an advanced playmaker on support for Fermin Lopez or Dani Olmo, and a deep line forward on attack for Lewandowski. There is still movement up front, but more rigid compared to the fluid way Barcelona plays in real life. As mentality, of course positive was preferred. In possession, a narrow width, play out of defense and focus play down both flanks to push the wingbacks high up the pitch. Passing diagonals much shorter and a higher tempo, and be more expressive was used, as the players are world-class level and can take good decisions on the moment. If your squad does not possess players at this level, I think it's better to take this option off and let them play the tactic as it's created. In transition, counter-press, counter, and distribute the ball to the defense through short kicks. Out of possession, of course a high press and a higher defensive line are preferred. Trigger presses more often and step up more to try and replicate that fast recovery time Barcelona had last season. In terms of results, I simulated one season. The team finished second in La Liga, not far from Real Madrid, but far from the third place. The display in terms of goals scored and conceded is on par with the real-life output. However, besides winning the Super Cup, the team has no other trophy to show for. But it's only one simulated season. Hansi Flick turned out to be a very good manager, with brave and outlandish ideas that somehow work on the pitch, and provide a very entertaining football. Even in the current season, Barcelona is displaying the same kind of energy and football level as last season. I really like how the German manager approaches the sport, and I hope we are in for even more seasons of entertainment with him at the helm.